We are Steve and Jill.
Together, we've been buying and reselling land since the 90s.
Our data-centric approach leaves our buyers asking, how can you sell it so cheap?
Here on the Land Academy Show,
We answer that and more. Steve and Jill here.
Hi.
Welcome to the Land Academy Show. Entertaining land investment talk. I'm Stephen Jack Butala.
and I'm Jill DeWitt, broadcasting from sunny Southern California.
Today, Jill and I talk about how to price a mail campaign for landowners.
This is going to be good. You know what I love, by the way? I love how our members, I get a lot of messages like, hi, Jill, how is it in sunny Southern California? Like,
It is sunny
it's
today.
great. Thank you. I love it. Hey, before we get into this, I got to share with you what I'm working on right now, because I have a business proposition for you here. This is
no.
not a proposition. I should say let me hear what I got here. So earlier this year, we purchased a commercial property, or actually, excuse me, early last year. Hello, 2020. And it was a bought for 50, sold for 2 something. I can't remember what the end number was. But anyway, on the buy side, with the property, the title company said that they pretty much covered like all the taxes. How should I say this? At closing, seller shall pay credit on purchase price of all delinquent taxes, including pound interest, blah, blah, blah. And if there's a lien, blah, 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 blah.
They didn't prorate it.
They didn't they pretty much, I don't want to say guaranteed, but in their verbiage, they said we caught them all. They checked them all, right? Well, they didn't check them all, and they didn't check the basic taxes. So anyway, bottom line is, so now I go to sell the property, right? And it comes up like, oh, by the way, let me tell you how much it is, you guys. You're going to crack up at this one.
This is a commercial piece of property.
$3,372.12 of missed taxes. Like, how do you guys miss this? And it was a simple phone call to the county. So when I'm selling the property, I'm responsible for this. I'm like, well, how far back does it go? And it's like, oh, from like 90 something. I'm like,
What?
What?
It goes back to the 90s?
Yes. I'm like, how did they miss it? I'm not.
And why didn't it go back to the county?
I know. So anyway, the point is,
That's crazy.
nobody caught it until now I'm selling it. So you know what? I went back to that original title company and I'm actually fighting it. And she said, well, here's the deal. We can do what's called, we're probably going to have to submit a formal title claim submission. And I'm like, oh, I heard that verbiage.
I have.
So I'm doing
ahead.
it. So wait. So yeah, I just got.
Wait, why are we doing anything?
Because it's hold please.
We have all the money.
No, we don't. Hold please. So here's the thing. I am actually going at it and watch me get it. And this is my thing to you. They're pretty much saying, Jill, you're right. We missed it. We have insurance for this. Looks like we owe you $3,300 and however much dollars. So this is found money. $3,372 would buy me a nice watch.
That's found money.
It's
like finding
found
three grand in
money.
a suit.
I don't, in the sale, did I make up the money of this property? Heck yeah. But you know what? It's kind of the point of it all. I kind of want that $3,372. And I was going to say to you, Stephen, I'm probably going to get it. It sounds like I'm going to get it. And I was like thinking I should get a piece of that to go do something for me because I'm going at it. What do you think?
This is what she does.
What?
We're on the air.
What?
And she asked, so I have no choice but to say yes, because if I say, oh my gosh, no, let's roll it back into our acquisition. She chooses, is there any better time?
That's not what this is
maybe
about.
Brought this up?
Actually, my point, that's not what this is about. But the point is, it is found money, number one. And number two, I'm doing the work to get it back. And number three, they screwed up. And you got to watch this stuff.
Yeah.
That's even better.
I agree.
Because we just had one of the kookiest.
Craziest closings. It just gets, it's like comedy on top of comedy.
I actually had an escrow company tell me.
Yesterday, this is.
Oh, no, you can't see the seller's side of the closing statement. You only see the buyer's side of the closing statement. I'm like, on what planet does that happen? She's like, oh, this is always how we do it. I'm like, seriously?
It's not how we do it.
So I said, I'm not doing it that way. So I shared mine with the seller and I said, will you please share yours? And he called the escrow company and said, yeah, share mine. I'm like, thank you. I got what I wanted in the end. I'm I'm not going to buy something and write a huge check and not see how the funds are being dispersed and not see that how the, what's being paid and not being paid on their end. That's the craziest thing. So anyway.
We won.
Yeah, it worked out. But you got to watch this stuff and read everything and question everything.
I noticed on that escrow too, it's a pretty big deal. So we were both involved in it. And we all read through every single word of it, which doesn't always happen. And I've never seen on the closing statement or the HUD one, the line item called padding. Never. And this is a pretty big deal. They had $500 of padding.
And then
so that they're going to collect
$800 of padding. And I said, I'm not paying both.
They're going to collect. Yeah, exactly. In separate points in the signature closing part of it. And we just both looked at each other because I've never seen line item called padding.
And then they called it
Why not call it prorations or adjustments or
state required. It's not state required.
It was
you required.
At one point I looked and we got through it and the deal closed and everything.
And I'm getting that money back, by the way. The padding is to hold and then it closes and they send me a check.
It used to be for prorations on taxes and stuff because it never closes on that day. So maybe it's like $8 different and everybody gets a check 2 months later and that's all fine. But I believe the way that this was, I'll never use this
nope, me
this
either.
escrow company again. The way that it was set up and presented to us was like, you guys are stupid. People just sign this stuff anyway.
I've never had anybody question anything.
We're going to collect about $1,800 more as a title company than we probably should. And just sign it.
Yeah.
That was kind of their whole attitude.
Exactly.
And that just doesn't fly.
Exactly.
It's funny because I think I'm a kook about this. Jill is times 10 on that. She gets not like Jill. Like another person comes out of jail.
Yeah, that one pushed my button a couple times there. Okay.
Today's topic.
Today, before we get into it, we're going to take a question posted by one of our members on the Land Investors Online Community. It's free. John asks, anyone here have experience with paying for a boost of their property listing on Facebook Marketplace? I only see options for controlling the duration and the budget. No control over selecting the target demographics. What am I missing?
There's a lot of people on the community here that responded to this.
Oh, good.
Facebook marketing and Facebook Marketplace are incredibly powerful. Jill and I have built whole business models around this. So please listen to this because it's really important. Boosting is not necessarily the real thing. What you want to do yourself a favor, and I think I talked about this last week on a show, is get to know Facebook marketing on the back end. You've got a Facebook profile, and you've got, if you have a company now, a Facebook page, like a business page. That's a whole different world for you to get back into the back end of Facebook marketing and really learn it and understand profiling these people that want to buy the property. Let's say you've got a property in central Utah where it's still, I'm just throwing this out, it's famous for elk hunting. You can sell it, a piece of property that you purchase, for a heck of a lot more that you purchased it by profiling the people that are in that area that also have identified themselves as elk hunters. And so this is really, really important, and it's the future, and it's something you want to spend some time on. Facebook Marketplace itself, I always look at Marketplace like a place to rent an apartment or sell a bicycle. I don't think that's the right thing to do.
Isn't that funny? We're just talking about this the other day because we were talking about Super Bowl 2020 and the 60-second commercial slots are going for $10 million. And that's great because you're reaching how much of an audience, but you're reaching the planet that may not be into your exact little thing. We were thinking how much money, if we could spend, on social media.
Spend $10 million on Facebook.
Could you
marketing
imagine? You would,
for one specific thing, like, I don't know, selling a flashlight to guys who have identified to guys
a flashlight
who are
to
in
guys.
age range.
That's it.
Choose your age range, and who have identified themselves as outdoorsmen, or just build a profile like that. Somebody who's logically going to buy a flashlight. It's probably not a 22-year-old woman. Let's just put it that way. So,
but the dad will buy it for the daughter.
So it's an incredibly powerful way to sell real estate and anything else. Yeah. Anything else that you can sit there and say, this woman's probably more set up to buy lipstick of this shade in this state or this zip code than men are in Texas. Jill's Super Bowl way,
could
that
totally
lipstick
imagine.
commercial reaches everybody in Texas, and it doesn't matter who. And it's totally inefficient.
Yeah. Not funny.
So buying and selling land on Facebook is fantastic.
Yep. I'm sorry, you got me thinking about it. It's totally true what different shades of color lipstick people wear. It's the same with hair. It's like,
Go ahead.
it's like, I don't know if it's still that way, but it used to be Texas was big hair. You like big hair, like sprayed up. And I don't know if it's still like that, but it used to be that like that.
It just seems like so much work. For
We're all-
what?
and then California would be like the bleach blondes. If you're, back in the day, I would sell hairspray to Texas. Here's what would be me. If I was in the hair business, my ads would be all old hairspray in Texas and that sun-in spray. I don't know if they still do it, but that bleachy spray here in California, because that used to be a thing.
I have never heard a man in my life say some version of this sentence. God, that girl's really hot. Look how big her hair is.
That's really funny.
So who does? Is it for other women?
I don't know.
Come on, Jill, you got to have these answers.
I guess.
I need you to explain all women to
Steven,
us.
I didn't do it. I don't know. I really don't know the horse. It must have been the fashion, and I guess it was for other women. I'm gonna go with that, yeah. But
Man,
I don't know how what guy, because you can't, because you couldn't run your hands through it.
you don't want to get near it. Trust me.
You can run your fingers through my hair, but
Trust me, man. We all know what the hair that Jill's describing back then in Texas. You all know.
yeah,
If you run your hairs through it, your fingers through it, what it's going to
It's
feel
like-
like. Yeah, it's just, and you know what they're going to, this is what the women would do. Like, don't touch my hair.
that's right.
Don't touch me.
I just spent
Yeah.
an hour on that.
So what point is all this? This is one of a million mysteries. We could do a whole show on this.
Yes, we're good.
I have a million questions like exactly like this.
Okay, save them. We'll do one a day.
Today's topic, how to price a mail campaign for landowners. This is the meat of the show. Pricing.
Marsha. Yep.
You have to decide what type of land. So let's just take a couple steps back. You found a county, you've identified it, and you generally have an idea that it's probably you're going to send a mail campaign because you listened to the other episode about finding a land county. And so now you need to price it. Well, here's the good news. Pricing works backwards. So what you have to do is get yourself a good, reliable data set on all the properties in the market that you're in. Let's say it's a county for rural vacant land for available property and price per acre. So you're going to look at a county and you're going to say the average price per acre in this county for sale property is $300 right now.
Is it for what size properties? 5 to 10? Do we need to get that
300
specific?
Not right now.
Okay.
$300 an acre is the number that I've identified this county in Kentucky to be for
Okay.
sale, and they sell at that. So how do I price my mailer? You multiply by 0.25 to 0.33. You want to buy property as a price per acre at about 25 to 33% of the listed for sale property. Here's a huge hint. Huge hint. Number one, there's different areas and counties. So sometimes there's flatlands, sometimes there's real expensive areas. So make it myopically get down to a place, a geography in a place in a county where you can see that the northeast quarter of the county, let's say, is $300 an acre. The southeast quarter, which is up in the mountains, is $800 an acre, and on and on and on. And price it that way. Don't price the whole. Jill just looked at her watch. Don't price the whole county. You did.
I didn't
What was
actually. I
it?
was looking at
What
my
were you
bracelet.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You looked at your bracelet. That's
I
okay.
said, "Oh, wait, excuse me. I know the answer, and I am going to get an A on the test."
You know, it's interesting because sometimes I'm the professor and Jill's the TA, the teaching assistant,
Yes.
and sometimes it's the other way.
Yes.
I'm sure I'm a much more difficult TA than you are.
Yes, you are.
Less patient.
Yes, you are.
So number one, you'd myopically get down these counties down to, and then you price it that way. It still applies, 25 to 33%. Here's a hint, and this is number two, and this is new, and it's the greatest thing ever. If you're lucky enough to have Redfin cover the area where you're buying land, and quite honestly, I only do areas now where Redfin covers. I only send mail to land areas where they cover because of this. Go to Redfin, get to your county or your zip code, whatever you're doing for land, and go to the right, and you'll see all the properties that are listed. Choose land. So now you're just looking at all the land in the county or the geography that you've chosen. Go to the bottom and say, I would like to look at completed sales also, in addition to for sale property. Download. This is this is kind of new within the last fiscal 12 months. And you will get a spreadsheet of there's your comps. So now you can price this. It's the greatest free tool there ever was.
I would like to add, I don't think people believe this sometimes, because I tell them, I'm like, quit picking areas that you can't get the data, you can't get the county, it's not supported on Parcel Fact. It's so hard to find these things. Why make it hard? And I tell them, I would just move on to another county, and I don't think they believe me. But it's nice for you to say, I do this too. I want to make sure it checks all these boxes. I have all the real numbers. Come on, there's 3,144 counties out there. You can move on to one little area over.
So you mean to tell me, Steve, that I can buy property for 25% of all the other properties in the market that are listed? Yeah. If you don't believe me, go on to landinvestors.com and ask that question.
Yep.
All you idiots here, type this question. All you idiots here in this land group consistently buy properties for 25 to 33% of the other prices that are out there, the average price.
For sale?
And watch what happens. Mm-hmm. Yes, that's our business model. Jill and I have been doing it since the 90s. We have people in our group that make, in excess of 7 digits a month doing this with land. So yes. Am I oversimplifying? Yeah, but this is a radio show. And so there's a lot of stuff involved, but it's very, very profitable if you work through all the stuff. That's how you price land.
Thank you. Happy you could join us today. Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, you can find us right here on the Land Academy Show. Don't fret. Tuesdays and Thursdays, we're right next door on the House Academy.
Next door. We moved the stage over a couple of feet.
Exactly.
Tomorrow on the episode on the House Academy Show is actually called How to Budget. Oh, that's incorrect. It's How to Price Your Mail Campaign for Houses. We talked about it for land today. We're going to talk about it houses tomorrow. Awesome. You're not alone in your real estate ambition. Big Hair, Texas.
Yeah.
When do you think? You know what I used to think? It looked like for a while in the 80s. It looked like somebody would take a flat board and just smack him in their head.
It would go straight up.
Straight up in the front.
Yeah, it's true. That was a lot of hairspray.
How did those trends start?
That was like Aquanet days, I think. I think it just continued on. That was when you went to Betty's Beauty Box. You cut your hair back.
How did these trends start?
I don't know. And it's stuck. It's kind of funny. The Land Academy Show remains commercial free for you, our loyal listener. So wherever you're watching, wherever you're listening, please subscribe and rate us there.
We are Steve and Jill. Information
and inspiration
to buy undervalued property.